Hey there, in this video I'll be going over managed website hosting and comparing it to traditional hosting. This will briefly teach you about the steps we take here at Tamer to host our client sites, and will give you a better understanding of the behind the scenes work that keeps websites performing optimally and secure. With this, our goal is to help you decide which hosting plan is right for you and your website. To start off, let's talk about the difference between traditional hosting and managed hosting. Traditional hosting is the more affordable and hands-off approach to hosting a website. If we think of your website as a car, traditional hosting acts as a garage for your car. It's a secure place to park your site and have it visible to the world. Managed hosting, on the other hand, is like having the same garage but with a maintenance crew inside keeping your vehicle in top condition. Websites, just like a car, require maintenance and are always evolving with the internet, technology, and your business. For example, the software and tools being used on your site will often have new updated versions which can't always be applied automatically, and this is where managed hosting steps in and takes care of things while you can focus on running your business. One key benefit to keeping your site optimized with managed hosting is faster load times and improved user experience, which will translate to higher rankings on Google and ultimately more traffic to your site. So to recap, if you're just looking for a reliable place to host your site and you plan to take care of any maintenance, bug fixes, or updates yourself, then traditional hosting will serve you well. If, however, you need more out of your hosting service and you want your site cared for and running optimally at all times, then managed hosting will be better suited for you. Both of these hosting methods have various plans that cover different levels of performance, security, and management, so you'll be able to choose which features you need on a budget that works for you. Alright, so now that I've covered the two options you have available for hosting, I want to take a deeper dive into managed hosting and show you basically just the fundamental steps that we take when we're managing a client's website. So this will give you a much better idea of what really happens when your site is getting managed and what are you paying for and what is this going to do for you. So starting from the top, you're going to need a domain, and we do our domain hosting through Google Domains. Obviously, Google, known for its reliability, you're not really going to have issues with Google. This is one of the top providers. We get notified yearly when your domain is due for renewal, and we apply that renewal 30 days in advance so that you never experience any downtime. Alright, so that covers Google Domains. Let's go ahead and move on to WordPress Engine, our hosting platform. So WordPress Engine is the leading managed WordPress hosting platform specifically designed for WordPress sites. We pay a pretty good premium to be able to host on this platform, and that comes with the best support, stability, security, and tools really available on the market. For security, WordPress Engine actually provides free SSL certificates for our sites, which is the standard for today's website security and will ensure your users' data remains private. This essentially just encrypts users' data and makes sure a third party cannot view the data being sent from the user to the site. Another vital feature with this platform is daily automated backups of your site. We keep 30 days worth of backups saved, so if anything is to go wrong, we can have your site reverted to a previous state within minutes. We also perform manual backups during any site maintenance to ensure all updates and changes can be reverted in case they end up breaking any kind of functionality. We'll also have a staging site set up for your website that also gets backed up similarly to the live site, and this is where we can safely test new features before moving them to production. So it's sort of like a testing ground. Okay, so these are the main features I wanted to go over with WordPress Engine. Next, we'll head over to WordPress Dashboard, which is the admin basically menu within your website. And I'll show you guys how we do updates and look for those there and how they can be performed. Okay, so here we are in the Updates tab under the Dashboard menu of one of our sites. This is where you can see a general overview of all the updates available on the site, from core WordPress files to themes and also plugins. Plugins and themes are essentially third-party apps that add new features and functionality to your site. The reason it's so important to do regular maintenance for these is because the updates typically add new tools, improve code quality, and improve security. Ensuring your site is regularly updated will provide optimal security and performance. To update these, we back up the site first, run the updates, and then test the site's functionality and scan for any visual issues. The first update on our list of updates is the core WordPress version. These are typically large updates for the entire platform, released roughly 4 to 5 times a year, so every few months a new core update will be available. What's nice about these updates is they're actually handled by WordPress Engine, our hosting provider. They go through testing by the WordPress Engine security team and will be automatically applied when the update has been approved. So we don't have to worry about these, they're taken care of by WordPress Engine. Next on the list of updates is the plugins. Now these are tools developed by third parties, and so they require a bit more care when updating. We have to make sure that these new updates don't fundamentally change or break any of the site's features. This is why the backups are used. Once we've installed any available plugin updates, we'll also spend some time navigating through the site, checking for any visual bugs that may have occurred, as well as testing things like the contact forms and shopping cart functionality. And lastly, we have the theme. This is another third-party feature that controls the layout and design of your site and gives it character. So just like with the plugins, after we run this update, we'll run some tests on the site to ensure changes go smoothly. And with that, your WordPress site is fully up to date. Let's move away from the WordPress dashboard now, and we'll check out some performance and health checks that we run during our maintenance after these updates are done. We'll start with Page Speed Test using Google Lighthouse. This is a tool that will rate your site's overall performance in multiple categories, as well as provide a detailed list of recommended ways to improve your site. Now, generally, these scores can be looked at with some leniency, and we don't need perfect 100% scores across the board, nor is that realistic. But this is a great tool to catch any red flags in your page speed and accessibility, and helps us find solutions for these issues. Like we said earlier, page speed is very important for a myriad of reasons, from user retention rate to search engine ranking, so it's crucial that we take a look at this. And if any major issues are found or we see areas for needed improvement, we'll contact you after maintenance and discuss our options. Moving on to another great tool, Broken Link Checker. This scans your entire site for any links that no longer work, displays the location of said links, and allows us to go in and fix them or contact you and ask where you'd like the broken link to be redirected. So maybe one of your site's menu buttons no longer works, or perhaps a website you linked to in one of your blog posts no longer exists. Whatever the issue is, we'll find it and take the necessary steps to restore the link. So moving on from that and nearing the end of our maintenance tasks, we'll next take a look at Google's Search Console, specifically the Coverage tab. So this tool within the Search Console scans your site for some very important errors, the two in particular that we focus on being 404 errors and no index issues. 404 errors are when a page or URL on your site goes down and is no longer accessible. If there's ever a 404 issue on any of your pages, it'll be listed here for us to resolve. No index issues, on the other hand, means Google is failing to index the affected pages, which results in Google hiding them altogether from their search engine. Typically, this is caused by incorrect code on the page, blocking bots from crawling it, and that's going to end up hurting your traffic because it just won't display these pages on Google. Search Console also has quite a few other handy features as well, such as mobile usability tests and security checks, but we won't get too into detail on those today. Alright, and lastly, but certainly not least important, is our uptime monitoring software by Pingdom, which immediately alerts us if your site becomes unavailable. We know your website is critical to your business, and with that, keeping it live at all times is one of our top priorities. I mean, what good is a website if you can't access it, right? So our maintenance team is on standby 24/7 and will be ready to restore your site to working order if it were ever to go down. The software that we use also runs additional tests and performs a root cause analysis, allowing us to establish what went wrong and minimize the time spent on issue resolution. And with that, we've successfully summed up all the overarching tasks that are completed during our routine maintenance here at Monster Tamer. Hopefully by now you've started to realize that managed hosting has moved from optional to essential for many businesses. First and foremost, security risk have increased significantly, where back in the day it wasn't such an issue if something was out of date, but today being out of date means being vulnerable to nefarious players who can take over your site and exploit it. In terms of performance, lots has changed as well, and websites can do much more than ever before, requiring a variety of plugins and software to support these activities, including search engine optimization, form submission, security, e-commerce, embedded video, and much more. All these require updates and careful management. On top of this, search engines are only getting smarter day by day, and they now know when a website is either poorly managed or well managed. It's critical that your website does not get flagged as poorly managed and therefore suffers in ranking competition. Alright, so we're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank you all for watching, and we hope you found this informative, and we look forward to working with you. For further inquiries, you can visit our contact page at monster-tamer.com/contact. Thank you very much.